Hey, what's going on, everybody? Andrew here, back for our build review show. It is Friday, December 20th of 2024. And on this show, I bring users builds up live on stream, giving them personalized feedback and advice about things that I think they can do differently in their builds to ultimately help them improve their post-contest sim ROIs and build and submit stronger lineups into their contests. So we do this show twice a week. We do this show on Mondays and Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern. If you ever want to get signed up for a show, all you need to do is drop your DK username in the office hours channel. Let me know what sport and slate you want me to review, and I will bring it up on stream on our next show. So with that said, we do have two people signed up for the show today, and we are going to get started with GC Padilla here. We're going to be looking at the Monday Night Football 2-game slate from this last week. So kind of a good time to be looking at this because we have another 2-game slate tomorrow. So 2-game slate strategy is only going to get more and more important as we get closer to the end of the year here and into the NFL playoffs. So got the slate up. Let's go to the contest tab. All right. So what do we see? So first thing, right, is that I'll say is this isn't exactly how we recommend entering contests like this type of contest selection. 3 entries into the $75 and then 3 entries into a $3 and then 3 entries into like another $3 contest. What we would typically recommend is going into the DFS lobby, only playing tournaments, right? Which it looks like you're doing. So GPPs, so that's good. Starting from the lowest entry fee to the highest, I would probably be skipping satellites and trying to get as many entries as possible into low stakes contests before playing higher dollar contests, right? And then also, say this splitting it into about 25 to 50% single entry and 3 max, and then 50 to 75% 20 and 150 max, right? So, I don't know, what's 25% of 240, 240 times 0.25. So like 60 to 120 in single entry and 3 max, and then the other 120 to 180 in 20 max and 150 max contests. Again, starting from the lowest dollar ones in the lobby, which are like the 10 cent, then 25 cent, and then $1, $3, $5, working your way up, right? So doing it that way, it's just going to get you access to a lot more lineups and give you a lot more shots on goal. And you're still being bankroll conscious, right? And then you're also playing the lower dollar contests, which are typically, the Sharks don't have access to those. So that inherently makes them a better contest to play. So that's what I recommend here. But for these lineups, let's at least look at the ones that had the biggest entry fee and see how they do. So we're going to go over to users. Mr. GC here. We're going to look at people who max entered this, which is 3 entries, and we're going to sort by sim ROI. So one thing I'll say right off the bat is that this looks like a low edge contest, right? You can typically tell by the sim ROIs achievable here, right? Highest sim ROIs are less than 10%. They are single digit ROIs, right? So like this is another consideration when deciding which contest to play. It's like, hey, where are my dollars best spent? And one of the best ways to figure that out is by looking at some of these contests and be saying like, okay, hey, in this contest, I can on average achieve, a single digit ROI. But what if I take that money and go play it elsewhere? And you look at some other contests like, hey, there are people getting 20% ROIs, 50% ROIs in some of these other contests. Maybe I should allocate some of my bankroll to those contests instead, right? So like here, GC is 1.5% positive sim ROI. That is actually good in this contest, right? I mean, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th on the list. He's a top 10 sim ROIer in this contest. For me, the question, has nothing to do with the lineups. The lineups look good, right? Look at the average dupes. They're low. They're in line. Sim average score is in line with all the other lineups here. Very high average salary being used. The lineups look fine. I think this is just like, hey, if we take you and we just go and put you in other contests, your strategy actually works out really well. So kind of just like a case of like not doing anything wrong, just playing the wrong type of contest, right? Let me just go into this build real quick, but I don't think we're going to see all that much. So it looks like default. Actually, I'm not sure if this is default. This might be default minimum salary. Let's open up a new build. Yeah, default minimum salary. No player pool filters, no rules. One lineup filter, ROI greater than 0, it looks like. 2 uniques. Let's go to entry exposure. No min or max exposures anywhere that I can tell. Yeah, no min or max exposures. No adjustments to stack types. And nothing else. So really hands-off build, right? Following a lot of our general strategy, not making too many adjustments, ROI greater than 0, trying to trust the sims. This is really just a case of like, hey, we are playing the wrong contest. So if you're looking for some guidance, pull this up. On our YouTube, go check it out. Give it a shot this weekend. Use it Saturday, use it Sunday. Let me know how it goes, but I think that this will help you out a ton. So that's all this one really is, which is great because we don't need to make too many process adjustments. Just enter some different lineups and we'll be all set. So I'm pretty hopeful for GC here. All right. Next person up, it's going to be Mike. And we are going to be looking at Thursday Night Football Showdown for NFL as well. So let's jump over to Thursday night. Broncos and Chargers. One second. All right. Got the build up. Going to go to the contest tab. All right. Contest selection looks good here, right? Low stakes, low stakes, low stakes. Taking one shot at the big one. Totally cool. Single entries, 3 maxes. We see a balance here, right? This is all good. So happy with what I'm seeing here. Let's go to entries. Let's try and load the mini-max. 190K entries, kind of a lot. Should be okay. All right, cool. Loaded. Can jump over to users. So our guy balling now, boys. 150 entries. Sort by sim ROI. All right, so good news, right? Positive sim ROI, 5.6%. Highest sim ROIs here, and let's get rid of some of these trains. Somewhere above like 25% is like pretty good if you're above 25%. So some room for improvement here, but a good start. Now, biggest thing I'm noticing, right, is this average dupes of 65. Sim average score 80.2, average salaries 48.6. So they're getting to lower salary lineups, but they're still coming in highly duplicated. So let's go and try and find somebody in like a similar range here. So here's a good one. 24% sim ROI, 80.5 sim average score, right? Compared to our 80.27. This person with the 80.5 average score and the 24% sim ROI has 22 average dupes, 5 uniques, and 27 under 5, compared to our 65 average dupes, 1 unique, and 6 under 5, right? So we can play same average score lineups of 80, but they need to be more unique. Or on the opposite side of the spectrum, right, you could play this many average dupes. We'll look at this person who's 40% sim ROI, 80 with a 59 average dupe. So close, not exact, but close. Well, they're playing 81.72. Their sim average score is 81.72. It's like a point and a half up. So I always say this to say, like, hey, there's more than one path to victory in Showdown. You could go super unique, like this person with 8 average dupes, 76 sim average score. You could go less unique, high dupes, like this person with 141 average dupes, 84.8 sim average score. Or you could find a balance, right, which you're closer to that middle ground, right? So that's a good approach as well. All right, so let's see where this came from. All right, so it looks like you use build 2 to actually fill these. So we're going to jump into build 2, see what you did there. What do we see? So 0 minimum, 50K max salaries, no filters, no rules, not seeing any lineup filters. Looks like you use autofill, unique rank, sorted by prize pool. It's all good stuff. Let's go into the build. No min or max exposures in captain. No min or max exposures in the flex. Nothing in team stacks, nothing in stack exposures. Okay, so another very hands-off build, right? Trusting the builder, letting it do its thing. I will say that Showdown specifically are like one of the most important places that you do want to have a little bit of a hand in. And the reason for that is because we have this added element of lineup duplication, right? In classic slates, don't have to worry about it as much, but in Showdowns you do, right? So where I would start with this one is I would go to the top right corner, go to help, and I'll obviously drop this here in the chat. So in our help docs, we have this video, geometric. So how do ownership product and ownership geometric mean work? I would start working this into your process. Okay, so I'm going to drop the tutorial here. It will explain what it is. It will explain how to use it in your future builds. Now, there's 2 ways to do it, or there's a couple ways to do it. So in the video, we talk about doing it on a contest by contest basis. You know, you're obviously playing a lot of contests, right? You have like 10 or so contests in this list. You could be super specific and do it for each one. That would require filling them one by one. Or something I do is I just try and get rid of the highest 10 to 20% geometric mean lineups, which that'll probably make a little bit more sense once you watch the video. That way I don't have to do it for every contest. I can kind of just say, hey, I'm trying to get rid of the highest duplicated lineups across the board and just keep the lower ones for my contests on average, right? So check out the video. It'll make more sense then, but that's the way I do it. So nothing pre-build, just filtering after the build once you've created your custom metric for GeoMean. So check out the video. Let me know if you have any questions in regards to GeoMean, but I think that can help you a lot here to get to some more unique lineups. If you're using it and you're finding that it is having a big effect on your lineups, like as like, hey, I'm more duplicated, but now my sim average score is too low or something like that. Also add a projection filter, right? So your GeoMean is typically going to bring down your projection a little bit because you are playing less duplicated lineups, which typically have a lower sim average score. Well, if you want to counterbalance that, do the same exact thing, 10%, trash the bottom 10% of projected lineups, and hopefully that brings it back up a little bit, right? So that would just be like coming into the filter, saying show lineups with projection greater than X. Switch to direct fill for this because you're just looking at your pool. So you go into direct fill, you say show lineups with projected score greater than X and try and get about like 500 lineups in the trash. And then you would go and create a custom metric in your sorting metrics So once you have this my own product geo mean value custom metric, then you can go and filter it the same exact way it will be available in this drop down. So check out that video. Let me know how it goes. But I think that your content selection is really good. I think you're on the right path. We can get that sim ROI up by dialing in the dupes and sim average score balance and kind of go from there. So take this first step. Let me know how it goes, and we can always circle back. All right. Those were our 2 people that signed up for the show today. Reminder, if you guys ever want to get signed up, all you need to do, drop your DK username in the Office Hours channel. Let me know what sport and slate you want me to review, and I will add you to the list for the next show. We do have our next show on a Monday here. We typically do it after the weekend, and then some signups roll in throughout the week. We try and get them by the end of the week so people can take those strategies with them into their weekend contests. But that's all for me today. I'll be back tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. Eastern for Office Hours. I'm going to go and change that right now so I don't forget, but doing it after the NFL slate starts. So don't want people trying to watch Office Hours and get their lineups in. So see you all then. Good luck tonight. Take care. Thanks. Bye.